What's going on, guys? What's going on, guys? This is your man, Real Deal, Steele, coming to you live. This is an unofficial, unannounced return test stream. Yes, I'm still alive. Took a lick and keep on ticking. Great to see you guys. So yeah, just kind of a little test stream. Get the beak wet. Get the juices going a little bit and reacquaint ourselves a little bit. It's certainly been a while. It's been a journey, but we are back. And I will begin to start doing streams, not quite as hardcore nearly every night like I used to, but we are going to get back in the groove of regularly broadcasting again. And it's so great to see each and every one of you. Definitely great to see familiar names in the chat, members still in the chat. We got Larry Ramirez, we got King Cobra, we got Bang Stun, we've got Wildin' Out, we've got Audio Freak, we've got Alan Schneider, we've got EF, Keith Havens, of course. Carlo, good to see you. RW, and the list goes on, and we keep on doing it to it. How's everyone been? I know things have been pretty crazy with the market, right? We've seen bearish times. Some would argue that we've seen periods of time that have been more bearish than we've ever seen in the past, even superseding some things that we've seen back in 2017. Some people are saying. So we'll talk a bit about that, where I think things are probably going here, the good, the bad, and the ugly, and everything in between. So without any further ado, let's get down to it, poppers. If you haven't liked the stream, if I could just ask you to like it, I'll put it there in the chat again. Twitter has me pretty much totally and completely shadow banned for speaking out against some of their policies and expressing what they perceive to be wrong think. So any help getting the word out is appreciated. Put the tweet in there. Feel free to RT it if you feel so inclined. And wow, first super chat back from forever, right? In over 6 months, or about that, right? Larry Ramirez kicking things off with a $2 super chat. Jeff Bezos. Yes, Jeff Bezos still doing it to it. Looking forward to seeing when his next phallic rocket will be erected. Anyway, Alan Schneider, of course, in the chat. Can't have a live Steven Steele live without Alan Schneider. And I've been kind of rebuilding, right? I kind of tweaked the intro. Some of you probably saw. There's going to be some new video edits coming in. I'm going to start having some different guests come in. The focus is going to be topical. Probably even a bit more topical than previously in terms of, but it'll still be very crypto-centric and all that other good stuff too, for sure. But there's definitely some interesting stuff to talk about tonight, as mentioned in the thumbnail. So I suppose we'll just get down to that. And if you got any questions or comments, feel free to put them in the chat. I am trying to keep a pretty close eye on chat tonight, so I can interact with all you guys. Audio Freak, good to see you, says, I invited Elon. Hey, you never know. People have speculated that Elon has come to our small corner of the internet once or twice, and who knows? He certainly keeps an eye on the community closer than people think, that's for sure. So I don't know if you guys have noticed, but Terra Luna Classic's been surging back. Out of the top 50 cryptos, it's the one been drawing the most attention to itself over the past week, simply because it's surging like crazy, and it still continues to do so. We did see some retracement today, that's to be expected, but up over 200% in the last week. This is pretty crazy. Is this the same Terra Luna that single-handedly kind of crashed the crypto market months ago? Yes, it is. Now, this is a spin-off, the Luna Classic, but it's generally the same folks in charge. The community has been pretty adamant about bringing it back. I know some people that have been making pretty good gains, actually, on Luna Classic, because after everything tanked out and right before Luna Classic really kicked off, they got in at those super early positions, so they were able to... it's all about your positioning. A good investments all lie in wherever your positions are. And so some people have been able to take advantage of that. Would I suggest aping into Luna Classic now? If it was me, not financial advice, probably wouldn't. I'd probably just see how things play out. Wouldn't surprise me if we saw a massive retracement even from here. But again, it's crypto. Who knows, folks? But that's just where I'm at with it. I have an inherent skepticism of all things Luna, but I also don't want to keep people and encourage people from getting those opportunities and making those gains where they see fit. Of course, this is a friend I'm sure all of you remember very well, and she's vying for my attention because she's jealous. It is none other than my unofficial co-hostess with the mostest, Remy. Remy, what's going on? What's up, sweetheart? So Remy, she's wagging her tail. She's rocking the camera back and forth. Remy, coming up. There you go, sweetheart. So yeah, Remy's been starting trouble. She's just been really rambunctious and, Bank's done. Member for 16 months. Hasn't been that long, but wow. We're going on a year and a half together, my friend. Never gave up. I knew you'd be back. Thank you so much. And for those of you guys, listen, for those of you guys who sustained your memberships through this entire time, even as I took a long hiatus, you guys know that I have pretty challenging health issues, and that was the reason for my being out. And I don't want to get into it now, but I want to give you guys a big thank you. Thank you for hanging in there. I mean, you didn't know that to me at all, but thank you for continuing your memberships. Hugely appreciate it. Thanks for not forgetting about me. Thanks for sticking around and showing up. Appreciate it. It was always my intention to come back. It was just a matter of when. Alan says she's happy to be back. Yeah, yeah. When I started firing up the engines here, you can see the wheels turning in Remy's mind. She was like, "I remember this. I know what you're up to." She got really excited. The tail started wagging, and yeah. Audio Freak says I was up all night though because I was leveraged, so I had to keep funding the short. Yeah, you got to keep DCAing, right? It made it work out. It's nuts. That's the one thing. Crypto is just such a wild, tumultuous ride. It can be. It's so volatile. That's what makes it so exciting, but at the same time so nerve-wracking. So that old statement of don't invest what you can't afford to lose really rings true when it comes to crypto investments. And I've certainly had my butt handed to me my share of times risking it. But as I always say, just as long as the investor knows what you're getting yourself into, if you know that you are going to be engaging in high risk, high reward scenarios, more power to you. I know some people are a bit more purist than me about that, but and I know some people are way on the other extreme where they only deal with those super high risk, high reward stuff. I've always said I think it's a good idea to make most of your portfolio in long-term top 20 cryptos for the most part, and then smaller portions of it for higher risk, high reward stuff, and just keep it balanced and try to have fun, right? Josh Randell, wow, Steele is streaming. Did I go back to the future? We've gone back to the future, guys. I might as well have named this stream Back to the Future. Yeah, time flies, man. I can't believe it's been this long, folks. All the regulars are back, too. Yeah, I loved it. We're getting the band back together. It's so great to see all these familiar names still supporting, still showing up, and that you guys are still out there. I was wondering who's still going to be out there, But, yeah, this is kind of just a casual test stream. So I don't know how long I'm going to go tonight, but just kind of firing up the engines, getting everything working again, and then we'll get back into the flow. How's this sound, guys? We need a damn welcoming party for all the regs. Yeah, no kidding. It's one of those things where I didn't want to announce the stream ahead of time because I didn't know what perhaps unforeseen technical difficulties that may ensue. So, yeah. But yeah, I'm in full support of the welcoming back party for all the regulars for sure, guys. Chris Morrow, welcome back, guys. Welcome back. So what do I have next on the story lineup for tonight? U.S. gets this, you guys. U.S. seizes 30 million in stolen cryptocurrency from North Korean hackers. This almost sounds like the plot to like a movie like from the early 2000s, right? It sounds like a movie description from like the early 2000s.
U.S. seizes 30 million in stolen cryptocurrency from North Korean hackers.
FBI and private investigators have seized about 30 million worth of crypto stolen by North Korean government-linked hackers from a video game company in March, according to Chain Analysis, a U.S. firm that said it worked with the FBI, claw back the stolen money. It's the latest example of a concerted effort from U.S. law enforcement to recover some of the hundreds of millions of dollars the hackers allegedly plundered from cryptocurrency firms in recent months. Money that U.S. officials worry is used to fund North Korea's nuclear war programs. Well, that's not good. So this is a wild story, and one I think that's being pretty unreported. So just to be clear, there are North Korean hackers that have been deployed by the North Korean government that have successfully stolen $30 million worth of cryptocurrency, and now they say this is probably going to be, these funds are going to be used for the North Korean nuclear weapons program. Now, who would star in a movie like this? Probably Harrison Ford. Harrison Ford would star like in this thriller, this suspense murder thriller, right? Secret agents trying to figure this out. The 30 million recovered is just a fraction of the equivalent of more than 600 million that the FBI said North Korean hackers originally stole from Sky Mavis. So they originally stole 60 million, but they were able to recover the overwhelming majority of that. But still, they were able to successfully get away with hacking 30 million for the North Korean government. The money has been frozen by law enforcement. Not all of it, just the 600 minus the... they still got away with 30 million of it. North Korean government-backed hackers have stolen the equivalent of billions of dollars in recent years by raiding cryptocurrency exchanges, according to the United Nations. In separate but related activity, a recent investigation found that North Korean operatives posing as other nationalities had tried to land jobs at cryptocurrency firms in the U.S. and abroad. I mean, boy, the plot thickens. The activity U.S. officials have publicly warned is an effort to earn a critical stream of revenue that helps bankroll the North Korean regime's highest economic and security priorities. So here they are, the North Korean government is deploying essentially spies to apply for jobs at prominent cryptocurrency exchanges in efforts to hack and subvert them and send this cryptocurrency to the North Korean government. This is so wild. This is so wild. When I came across this story, I was surprised I didn't really hear anyone else really talking about this. So, hey, Carlos, good to see you, man. You look healthy again, my friend. Thank you. Then if that's the case, then I look better than I feel. But thank you. I appreciate it. Great to see you. Carlo, talk about Voyager. Yeah, we can talk about Voyager. Absolutely. Firstly, I'd like to apologize for ever promoting Voyager. I would promote Voyager because I considered it as like one of the more sound, solid, reliable crypto exchanges, and I'd sometimes put my promotion code in the chat and so forth. And if you, unless you've been living under a rock, basically what happened is trading has been hopefully temporarily suspended. Because what happened was the folks at Voyager, they gave out a huge loan without any collateral to Three Arrows Capital. And Three Arrows Capital basically fleeced not only Voyager, but over 29 other massive companies as well. And how they did this was simply by lying about how much money and available capital they had readily available. And due to a combination of that and then building up a huge rapport and doing businesses with all these, prominent businesses, there became a degree of assumed credibility about Voyager because of that, and about Three Arrows Capital, rather, more importantly, because of that. So even though Voyager, don't be wrong, had acted completely foolishly and recklessly by giving out a huge loan without collateral to this Three Arrows Capital, which is basically a huge hedge fund that did a lot of business with cryptocurrency companies. Even though they made the mistake there, the biggest villain of them all, hands down, is Three Arrows Capital for lying to everyone about how much capital they had available, right? So I was holding a lot of my crypto assets on Voyager. Unfortunately, I was holding probably about 70% of my Dogecoin, for example, on Voyager, and the rest most of the rest of my cryptocurrency was held on is held on a ledger, and then of course I'm for all my small market cap stuff I do usually Coinbase Wallet, Uniswap, and some MetaMask stuff, but so yeah, I currently don't have access to the majority of my crypto assets. Now, there have been some positive developments. It does look like there are some significant interest in the acquisition of Voyager. So it is starting to look like Voyager will find its feet again eventually. I would say they will probably relaunch within the next 5 months. 5 months, I'd say. 6 months tops from what I'm seeing. And at that time, I'm also told, and I have been fortunate enough to have direct information from the Voyager CEO himself. And one of his people reached out to me because of how critical on Twitter I was being about about what was happening. And he knew I hosted a show and stuff and wanted to open a line of communication there. So from my understanding, if you're holding on Voyager, most of our assets should be not what's the word I'm looking for? Should be recovered. Should be recovered. I think they're talking about upwards of 90%. Hey, if we can get through all of this with a 90% recovery of assets, that's fine with me. That's fine with me. But I don't think it's a wash. I don't think the assets are done for. I don't think they're going to do that. I think Voyager, there is like a level of assumed security and naivety, not only with Voyager, but a lot of people in high positions of power in cryptocurrency. That is a big learning lesson, right? Where people that were responsible for so many different people's assets, it didn't even occur to them that it could be possible for Bitcoin, for example, to go below 25,000 again. It didn't even occur to them what their business model would look like, or if they could survive if Bitcoin went below 20,000. And so it's a combination of horrible market conditions and people not having a plan, like very powerful people, not even occurring to them what the plan would be if such market conditions occurred, which is so reckless and irresponsible. So, a lot of lessons learned from both us retail investors and the people that are running big shows. Let's see what's going on in the chat. Hey, Steven, Doge to $3 by 2025. Still be achieved, or is it too much to expect practically? I'm not sure. $3 does sound a lot like by 2025, but I wouldn't take it off the table. I certainly think it's possible. Yeah, I've just been kind of I still have been keeping an eye on Dogecoin, but I've been keeping an eye on a lot of other stuff as well in terms of the market. But I always keep an eye on Dogecoin. I still hold all of my Dogecoin, but at the same time, I think it's important to expand and diversify the portfolio and keep an eye on other projects as well. To be honest with you, I think there have been some directions that the Doge community and some folks in the leadership of the community there, they're taking that I don't think is it's not very good. It's not very good. But I still remain very bullish. I still remain very hopeful. But I'm kind of wondering, kind of wondering where things are going to go. That being said, things can change very quickly and very bullishly for Dogecoin, for the simple fact that Elon Musk still seems pretty intent on the pretty detailed and specific integration with not only Tesla, but his other companies as well, whether it's SpaceX or the Boring Company. I think Dogecoin will continue to be integrated in all these companies, which could spark on the next bull run a certain level of proof of concept, if you will, wherein it becomes much more of an accepted perspective that Dogecoin is kind of the go-to retail digital currency to be transacted in the retail space. So we'll see. Audio Freak says, Matt Wallace's thumbnails keep telling me it'll hit 75,000. Yeah, guys. Yeah, I don't know what to say. I can't speak on behalf of what other people, what other content creators, how they handle their business and what they do. I can only do my thing, right? I can only do my thing. There are some people that have tried to hold me to the actions of others just for the simple fact that I've been friendly with other people, which I think is insane. But what are you going to do? I can only be responsible for how I run my affairs. Oh man, when Doge 1 mission. So from what I understand, it's still happening, but again, it keeps being deferred and deferred. I think the last time I heard, when was the last projection I heard that came out for Doge 1? The last one before this one was supposed to, so I think it's going to be summer of this next year now, I think the last time. Don't quote me on that, I got to double check it. But I do know that there was another semi-recent update on the timeline of that. So what's going on? The Ethereum fork, the merge, the big merge, everyone's talking about it. Can't go anywhere without running into it in cryptocurrency circles. And this is a really big deal. There's potentially a lot on the line here. So why don't we just start with what is it? Because this stuff can be kind of difficult to understand sometimes as a casual retail investor. And I'm always learning. I'm always trying to improve. And so why don't we just go over the basics of what the Ethereum merger is, and then we'll kind of talk about it a little bit from there. So the Ethereum merger is basically the Ethereum blockchain. It's going to be merging with a separate blockchain. And this is going to radically change the way it processes its transactions going forward, and how the tokens are created. So I took a few notes here from it. The new system, known as proof of stake, will slash the Ethereum blockchain's energy consumption by 99.9%. Developers say most blockchains, including Bitcoins, devour large amounts of energy, sparking criticism from investors and environmentalists. The Ethereum Foundation, a prominent nonprofit organization, says it supports Ethereum, says it will upgrade and pave the way for further blockchain transactions. High costs and slow transaction times are currently two of the main issues users have had with Ethereum in the past, which will both be improved drastically under the merge. So there we have it. It's basically, you're going to have, let's see. Oh, proof of stake. So yeah, it's going to switch. The merger is going to make Ethereum merge to proof of stake model. There are different ways transactions on the blockchain, the software that underpins most crypto, can be verified in proof of work system currently used by Ethereum. New transactions are checked by crypto miners. Miners use powerful computers that solve complex math puzzles and update the blockchain. So basically what this is going to do, the merger is going to make Ethereum miners irrelevant. So if you're currently mining Ethereum, you want to start mining something else. You're going to want to find a new line of revenue stream there. Because there's going to be a lot of miners out of work, but at the same time, the miners would have been driving those gas fees, those insane gas fees up so ridiculously high at times, right? So I think this is a good thing. And also, due to making the miners irrelevant for Ethereum, it's going to basically absolve and fix the carbon footprint that Ethereum has been carrying. It's going to cut the carbon footprint of Ethereum by 99.9%. And what did I tell you guys? Those who've been listening to me for a while, you remember when the mainstream media and Bill Gates were harping on and sounding the hyperbolic emergency bells about cryptocurrency The main problem with it is it wasn't green friendly, and its carbon footprint was too huge, and this is going to destroy Earth as we know it. I mean, it was so ridiculous, and Bill Gates was kind of leading this narrative. And I always told you guys I wasn't worried about that at all because the way things have been progressing in terms of either green mining alternatives or technological updates, as we see with the merge, that this was going to be handled pretty swiftly over the course of the next couple of years. And especially comparatively, when we, even in its current existing form, right now, Bitcoin eats up the most energy for its production. Even at that, when you compare it to the traditional finance systems and the traditional fiat systems, the energy that's all involved in that system, it's really pretty minuscule comparatively. Not to say that we shouldn't try to always do better, and we are. But my point then was that this was always going to be handled in pretty short order over the next couple of years, and now we're already seeing less than a year later that this is already happening, and Ethereum, the second most popular cryptocurrency on the planet, is cutting its carbon footprint by almost 100%. So actually, these matters have moved even along a bit quicker than I initially anticipated. Jason Huffman, there's a name I love to see. Hey, Steven, you got the band back together. Awesome. What's up, everyone? Hey, Jason Huffman, good to see you back in the mix, man. There's a name it's great to see your names. These are names I haven't seen in so long. So it's great to see you guys, man. It's great to see you guys. If I could ask you, those of you who are still on Twitter and those of you who aren't, I don't blame you one bit, but I'm going to put a link to the tweet in the chat. If you could just take a moment to give it a like and retweet, because Twitter has me totally shadow banned for wrongthink. That's just the way it goes, my friends. Sometimes that's the price you got to pay to speak your mind, right? So, speaking of Twitter, why don't we pivot to the next topic, which is Elon versus Twitter, right? Elon versus Twitter. This is a saga that's gone on much longer than I anticipated. And I have mixed feelings about it, honestly. As someone who's at least had a little bit of rapport with Elon on Twitter. And the last time that I had a little exchange with Elon on Twitter, it was about the assumed presumption of Elon either acquiring Twitter or starting his own platform, neither of which that looks like it's going to happen now. Now, there are people that believe that Elon is still playing a long game where he will end up acquiring Twitter and that he is just trying to get the price down significantly right now. I think that's a less probable scenario, but one I'm still willing to entertain. One, I still think it's possible, but I think it's less probable that that's what's happening. I'd like to clarify, I hope that's what's happening. But it's looking less probable to me that's what's happening. Now, I love Elon. I'm a huge fan of Elon. All you guys know this, but at the same time, I think he really let a lot of people down there because here was a great opportunity to lead the charge and change the cultural trajectory and open it up to become basically, change the paradigm for foster a new era of free speech and protecting people with varying opinions under the umbrella and protections of free speech. And this gave a lot of people a lot of hope. A lot of people who've been shadow banned, suspended, unjustifiably, in my opinion, many of them, not all of them, but many of them. And people that have been throttled, all these things. One of those people is me. And I noticed that I was heartily shadow banned and my follower count has been completely throttled. And if you might want to check, if you're still on Twitter, make sure you're still following me, because what Twitter has been doing is automatically having my followers unfollow me. And people have been writing me almost on a daily basis about this. Oh, I just realized Twitter automatically unfollowed me from you. I have to follow you again. So this is the kind of stuff that they're doing. And I noticed that this happened right after I became even much more vocal of these Twitter censorship policies. And then after Elon Musk responded to me about something to do with him taking over Twitter, that my engagement went down about 90% and my follower count had been throttled and fixed. Basically, the fix is in from that day forward. So it's disappointing to see Elon look for ways to get out of this acquisition. Don't get me wrong. He raised a really good point in terms of the overabundance of bots and spam that are on the platform. Fair enough. But at least put in a counteroffer that's lower. With all those things considered, I think would be the fair and right thing to do. The problem I have is now it's put a lot of people in limbo that had hope, and now that they don't, and now that it looks like Elon won't be acquiring Twitter, we are going to see even more censorship, more throttling, more basically hostile takeover of the public square, of the village square. I don't think this is good. We do have alt-tech alternatives. Some are becoming slightly viable now. Truth Social, it's too... I mean, I'm on there, but there's just nobody on there, right? If everyone decided to go to an alternative, I'd be all for it, but it's hard. It's hard. Check out Social Blade, Stephen. I will check it out, and I'm open to suggestion. Josh says Twitter is deep state, zero chance of acquisition. Well, I mean, what I do know is it's looking a lot less likely. Sorry I'm late. Stephen, long time. Glad to see you back. Omar Smith, good to see you. Brad, what is going on? Great to see you guys. Yeah, so I have to say, I'm a bit disappointed in Elon. And I know that's not cool. I mean, I'm not one, like, as much as I love Elon, I'm not just going to be a yes man for everything he does and says. Like, I think for myself, you know what I mean? It just so happens that a lot of things that Elon has talked about and a lot of the things that he's done have overlapped, or I've overlapped with my perspective on things that I agree with him on, or I have an immense amount of respect for his accomplishments. You know, this Twitter thing, I think he really dropped the ball on a lot of people that really needed this to happen. And I know there is a huge bot problem there, but what's more important than a bot problem is a cultural problem. And right now, we have pretty much a hostile takeover between the establishment and big tech that really kind of throttles what we can say, talk about. And I'm not even talking about necessarily like political opinions or anything. It can be, I mean, Twitter can throttle you and silence you, even if you're just talking about, even if you're specializing in a topic or a hobby that its staff just doesn't really care for, right? It really comes down to we've had countless examples of even levels of, that level of pettiness really enter who gets to thrive and who doesn't in the village square. Speaking of which, here's much to been itching. A few people brought you up. Matt Wallace, Final Stand, Steven Steele, the Moon. Thank you, Matt. Thanks. Good to see you guys, and good to see you in the chat, Matt. It rhymes. Thank you. Anyway, thank you, Matt. Good to see you. It's been a long time since I've live streamed. That's what I try to do. I try to bring people together. I just try to bring people together on this show, folks. Anyway, thanks for the shout out, Matt. Thanks for tuning in. Josh, Twitter was seed funded by Elon will never acquire it. Sad to say. Yeah, I don't know if those are the reasons why, Josh. I'd have to read more about it, but I'm definitely open to reading about it. Oh, me and you is in the chat too. We definitely have gotten the band. We definitely got the band back together, folks. We definitely got the band back together. Oh yeah. So it's like, yeah, we're still like getting reacquainted at it, right, guys? After like however long it's been. Now, do I think the acquisition, let's circle back for a brief moment to the Ethereum merger. Do I think the Ethereum merger, what effect do I think it will have on the market value of Ethereum? Will it be bullish or bearish? Will it pump or will it dump? I don't think it's going to be bullish, but I'm not convinced that it's going to tank either. If I had to guess, I think that we will see a little bit more of an ascendancy right before it drops, like a mini pump. If I had to guess, before it drops a bit. for a couple days before stabilizing. So I don't think it's going to be any super major event one way or the other as it relates to Ethereum's market value, but we shall see. We shall see. Either I'll be vindicated in that prediction or not, right? September 28th is Steele Day, isn't it? You guys have a better memory than me, and I suppose it is. It's already been a year, almost a year since Steele Day. That's correct. Rolling in the fall and winter months, Steele's back. Yes, we're back going into the fall. And fall is actually my favorite season. Matt says, I wonder if those in power stopped Elon from buying Twitter with a threat. You know, it really makes you wonder. It really makes you wonder if that. I think it's totally possible, Matt. You know, that's what we're kind of speculating here on the show, like disappointment and why it hasn't happened and the reasoning behind it. I don't doubt that the bot situation is a real concern, but to me, I don't think it's the only reason. I feel like that's kind of a catalyst excuse to not buy Twitter. There's something more going on there, guys. This isn't all just about bots. No way. I don't think any of you guys believe that either. Yeah, and that's exactly. I agree, Matt. Matt says, then, if not, come on, Elon, stick to your word and stand by it. I agree, and those are exactly the sentiments that I was expressing earlier. Perhaps not the cool thing to say, but I think Elon should. I think if he's able to, I think he should still acquire Twitter. I think it'd help out a lot of people. You know, a lot of people are really excited because we saw a lot of hope in changing the cultural paradigm and opening up the gates of free speech more to how things used to be, protecting more people, giving more people a voice, now having more of a healthy discourse and not just suppressing huge swaths of the population because you have some disagreements with them. And a lot of those are very minor disagreements, might I add. I'm not saying that there shouldn't be any restrictions to people's speech, but I think most of us agree here right now that there's been a tremendous overreach on what you can talk about without recourse. That says Elon being cheap. All I can say, I don't know, man. What I can say is I don't buy this idea that the only reason he hasn't acquired Twitter is because of the bot problem. I just don't believe that. Now, I'm not discounting that problem. I do think it is a significant problem, but I think that's more of a catalyst. There's just a lot more going on there. We need Crypto Mama and Donna in the chat. You know, I forgot to text Donna. I haven't texted Donna in a long time, but she used to tell me, always text me before you go on the air, and I forgot to do that. So I didn't even think I was going to stay on this long. This is kind of like a return test stream to get back in the swing of things here. Has anyone here a Lord of the Rings fan? I'm a fan. I wouldn't describe myself as a rabid super fan like some of the people I know, but I've always been a fan. Anyone watch The Rings of Power? This new Lord of the Rings series that's out right now. I think it's on Amazon Prime. No bueno. No offense to anyone who liked it, but you know what's really interesting is when you look at the disparity between the reviews of The Rings of Power on Rotten Tomatoes, it's got about 84%. Yeah, 84% exactly on the critics reviews of it. And only 39% of the audience likes it. So huge disparity there between the critics and the people on that. To me, it just seemed pretty cringe, you know, pretty corny. It kind of to me, it kind of feels like a soap opera version of Lord of the Rings or something. It just doesn't do it for me. Low roller scratcher in the mix. Welcome, Hector the Dude. What's up? Good to see you as well. You need to bring back Nick Balls into your guests. Yeah, we'll bring back Nick. I'm going to start rotating some guests in and out. So yeah. But yep. But we're going to start doing streams semi regular again. And I've got some huge surprises lined up for you guys. So stay tuned. Stay dialed in. Let's see what else. Have you guys heard about Suka? So Suka is a coin that's really shot up pretty significantly. I think it's at about 70 million last time I checked. Let me see. I don't want to say where it's at right now because I haven't checked in the last 2 days. But it got up to about there. It could still be up to about there as well. The interesting thing about this project is the whole thing was launched on this PR campaign that the founder, Ryoshi, is behind this project. And so it caused everyone to ape into this thing. And when you investigate it further, there is no evidence to substantiate this claim. Like none. None. And anytime, you can't get a peep out of the team anytime you question about it. So, and there's this like assumed authority that Suka is like this, like the next, like most credible meme coin. In the meantime, badooch, the entire buzz and narrative of the coin is based on what appears to be a lie. This is not the de facto new project of Ryoshi. It's just something looks like they just literally made up as a basis for their narrative. To their credit, it's worked out wonderfully, right? To their credit, it's worked out wonderfully. And I'm holding a little bit, but I just think that's interesting. Interesting. Low Roller says we need to wait 6 more months for a crypto winter. Bear market almost over. Yeah, I think we're already seeing signs of coming out of a bear market. We're already seeing some independently bullish runs on particular coins. Luna Classic is the latest example of that. But we've also seen some pretty remarkable runs on select projects in the low market cap ERC20 world as well, which I've been watching a lot more closely lately and participating in. It's just exciting. I'm just enjoying it. And especially when the market's been as unimpressive as it has been overall. What do you think, Remy? What do you think? Yeah, she's feeling pretty bullish. Okay, Remy. This dog is, I gotta tell you guys, this dog's stinky. You're getting a bath tonight. Yeah, you're getting a bath. You are pretty fragrant, my friend. So we're gonna get Remy a bath after we get off of here, and then we're gonna get her some newly fresh washed bandanas. She doesn't like when the bandanas come off. Yeah, we both wear bandanas every day now, but when the bandanas come off, she freaks out. She does not like being without her bandanas. Rodrigo says, put $1,000 in ETH Classic. You think it'll pump on the 13th? Hard to say, Rodrigo. I'm personally of the opinion that Remy, calm down, please. I'm of the opinion I don't think we're going to see anything super dynamic when the merger happens. I do think that we're going to see things happen, but people are assuming that it's either going to pump like crazy or dump like crazy. I'm not convinced it's going to be either one of those extremes. I think we'll probably see some moderate pumping followed by moderate dumping and then followed by stability, if I had to guess at this point. But in terms of the long-term projections of holding Ethereum Classic, I think it's probably a good idea. Yeah, I think it's probably a good idea, particularly, obviously, if you get in at a nice dip. Someone's calling for that Texas toast. Texas toast. Doge Elon Mars may have been hanging in the bear market compared to other probably good large. Yeah. Doge Elon Mars has what it takes to weather through the bear market. I think they have a strong enough community to do that. I've been keeping a much closer eye on the lower market cap kind of meme coin kind of stuff, and really kind of honing my own personal skills on being able to recognize the few credible, decent projects that are out there that have looked to have long-term viability, sustainability, and being good investment decisions. In fact, I think that the meme coin market for the future is going to occupy a bit more of the space than most people most of its skeptics would ever find possible right now. I really do believe that, and I'm not against that. I think that's a good thing. As much as I still think that utility coins are where the most of your investments should probably be wrapped up in, I do think there is a place for the meme coin. If anything, to demonstrate the power of strong decentralized communities coming together and standing together to create more financial freedom for more people. Obviously, this is a high-risk game to play, but this high risk is not limited to low market caps, my friends. Low Roller, did you screw Voyager since everyone switched to Voyager over? Did you switch to Voyager over? Yeah, I talked about Voyager a bit earlier. If you want to just watch the stream later, I spent a long time talking about what happened there and where I think it's going. But I do think, from the latest information that I've gotten anyway, that Voyager investors will likely get the overwhelming majority of their assets back in time. And by in time, I mean probably over the course of the next 4 to 6 months. There have been some very serious, strongly well-moneyed interest parties in the possible acquisition of it. And I know that the CEO has also been talking to some of those same entities about coming up with a solution for a sort of relaunch. Now, the interesting thing to see with Voyager is once that relaunch takes place, will they have to come up with completely new branding in order to successfully relaunch? I mean, because you're going to have a lot of people the day they relaunch pulling out all of their assets, right? So as a CEO, how do you mitigate that? What incentives are you going to give people to discourage a complete full exodus in short order once you open the platform up for trading again? I don't know. Did you ever get your Dogecoin back from Celsius? So I was never holding any on Celsius. I was Voyager, and I still have some Dogecoin on Robinhood, and then the rest I have on a ledger. So to answer your question, I have not gotten any of my assets back or access to them from Voyager yet. You know, another thing that gets overlooked a lot, you know, you hear the phrase that's become even increasingly popular since all of these things have materialized, all this volatility and bad business decisions with these platforms have become more pronounced. Not your keys, not your crypto, which is absolutely true. But what people don't talk about is whether like it or not, we need exchanges. We need crypto platforms to reach mass adoption for cryptocurrency in order to continuously mainstream it. This idea that we're going to get the majority of retail investors to convert to cold wallets, and then what are day traders supposed to do? What are swing traders supposed to do? To pull out their cold wallet and plug it in I mean, come on, it's not happening. And swing trading and day trading, to a degree, is really what helps markets thrive, whether we like it or not. Now, overabundance of it, I don't think is particularly good, but it's certainly an equation towards a thriving market. And so, I think probably the best solution is coming up with some common sense regulations to protect the retail investors going forward as it relates to these crypto exchanges, to prohibit activity that would recklessly put the retail investors' assets in jeopardy. You understand what I'm saying? So this idea that we're not going to reach mass adoption without exchanges. I mean, exchanges are one of the sole reasons why Bitcoin even ascended to significantly in value in the first place. And you could make that same argument for most of the other top cryptos as well, including Dogecoin. Keith is holding SHIB. We have SHIB holders here. I got to tell you, I wish I would have gotten in SHIB really early when I looked at it, despite my emotions about it, because my bank account would be an entirely different animal right now. I'll tell you that. Hindsight's always 20/20. We do the best we can with what we got, right? Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Anyway, guys. I got some new news that I'm going to share with you guys soon. I got a new project that I've been working on really hard. Looking forward to sharing with you guys too. It's going to be really cool. And we're going to have some new guests come in. But I think this was a good reintroduction. I've been going about an hour long, and I think that's good for tonight. But it's really good to see you guys. And I appreciate you guys tuning in. I hope you got a little something out of it. If not for anything, a little entertainment, right? So tell everyone I'm back. Tell your moms and your aunts, and wear your tight pants. Until then, guys, this is your man, Real Deal. Steele sign off. Thanks again, guys, and we'll see you next time.